Not too long ago, I got a phone call from one of my friends, one of my very good friends. And he was a little on edge because he was telling me about how he kind of walked into his living room and he saw his gun on the table. And he automatically assumed that it was unloaded because he figured, I didn't load it. And he picked the gun up, and sure enough, he picked it up, he racked the slide, and the bullet goes sailing across the room. And it freaked him out. And he called me about it because he's like, damn, he's like, if I hadn't have done that and racked the slide and pulled the trigger, that gun would have went off in my apartment. Interesting thing about that is I actually told him, yeah, that's happened to me a couple of times. But see, the beauty behind training and the beauty behind safety education is that when you ingrain it into your mind, you can forget stuff like, hey, I have a round in the chamber, even though I thought there wasn't a round in the chamber. You can forget that and still be relatively safe with your gun because you've ingrained another skill set into your brain that tells you anytime you pick up a gun, I don't care if you saw it 2 seconds ago, 3 minutes ago, 4 hours ago, you pick it up, you drop the mag, and you rack it. I don't even think. If I pick up a gun like this, like for instance, so I just picked up, this is a Walther PDP, right? I've been fiddling with it. I know there aren't any rounds in the magazine, and I just fiddle with it. I do it a lot. When I'm in front of my computer working, when I'm in my living room, I'll just fiddle around with my firearms. It's something I like to do. And this right here, this is a staccato P. Pick this up. This actually does have rounds in the magazine with the safety on, and I rack it. It's just naturally intuitive for me. It happens on a subconscious level because I've ingrained it into my psyche. And the reason I've done that is for the very reason why my friend called me kind of scared about what he just did. But what I told him was, that's actually a good thing. It's good that he's a little kind of terrified about what happened, because what that will do is sear in his brain a memory that he doesn't always know the state of his firearm. And you should never assume the state of your firearm. You should confirm it. Not trust but verify, just confirm it. So even if I go to a gun store and I watch the guy behind the counter handle the gun, pull it out, rack the slide, do all of it, and he hands it to me, I'm telling you, I'm gonna pick it up, drop the mag, rack the slide, and make sure that it actually is clear. And I think everybody should do that. I think everybody should ingrain that into their psyche, because it'll prevent a lot of negligent discharges, honestly. Because we're humans. We're never gonna be 100% perfect. So that's why the rules of gun safety kind of have almost like a stopgap in order to make sure that you can maybe break one of these rules and be just fine. But break two at the same time, that's when you start having problems. But I just wanted to put this video out there just so that if the off chance that it helps one person not make that fatal mistake of assuming that his gun is unloaded, pulling the trigger, and boom, the gun goes off. Ingrain it into your psyche immediately. Anytime you pick up a gun, you pick up that gun immediately. You rack it, you check it, you make sure it's clear. And honestly, I've gone so far as to not engage the trigger whatsoever whenever I'm fiddling with a gun in my house. Sure, I don't have any kids, so I have guns lying all over the place, and I have guns strategically placed throughout my house. Some guns, I'm just like, I don't touch them ever. They sit there, that's what they do. They're designed to be my safety, right? And I know they're hot and they're ready to go at any given moment. However, all the other guns that I have around here, for the most part, I'm fiddling. They may have rounds in the magazine, but without me even thinking about it, I'm automatically racking the slide, looking at it, making sure it's good to go. And the funny thing is, you actually want to even have it down to the point where it's a specific order. It's grab gun, drop slide, rack slide. You can have rounds in the magazine, and if you don't take that out first, rack the gun, now you put a round in the chamber, you drop the magazine, now you think you're safe and you're not. But I just want to put it out there for the people who are just getting into firearms, are fairly comfortable with firearms, and even the experts. It's just a reminder that these safety habits that we develop are for a reason. Because there's no reason for us to have these guns for self-defense if we're just only going to accidentally use them in a way we don't want to use them. And so that's why I think it's incredibly important for people to ingrain it in your psyche. grab a gun, drop the slide, rack the slide. Period. I do it no matter what. Whether it was 1 minute ago, 2 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago, 4 minutes ago, I do the same thing over and over and over again, because I know there may come a time where I'm not entirely sure if I actually have a gun that is actually loaded with a round in the chamber, and me assuming it is does me no good. Simply drop the mag, rack the slide, and you're good to go. Just confirm it. That's all.
You know how frightening it is to think about what happens in the moments before, during, and even days after having to use your gun in self-defense? When you first start carrying a gun for protection, it can be a very scary and nerve-wracking experience, especially if you haven't gotten the education and training you need to feel confident. I've been there myself, hoping I never have to go through a self-defense shooting, which is why I'm a member of the USCCA. As a USCCA member, you can eliminate some of the stress of carrying a gun for protection by accessing the amazing wealth of firearm education, training, and current state-specific gun laws of your state or states you may travel to. This can help you be prepared for, or hopefully even avoid, a self-defense incident. As a bonus, members automatically become insured on the self-defense liability insurance policy purchased by and issued to the USCCA. Click below to learn more.
Guns aren't political. That's why I need your help getting this message to spread on YouTube by clicking the thumbs up button, leaving a comment to let me know what you think of the video, then subscribing to the channel. But most importantly, click that bell symbol. For products featured in this video, click the links in the description.